Welcome to the RadioU podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, you'll never guess who officiated Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding.
Also, is this a legit reason to break up with your boyfriend?
All that and more on the way next. Justice has been served at the World Cup. Or has it? 8772 RadioU. News came out yesterday that U.S. men's national team player Flo Balogun's red card has been suspended, which pause 8772 RadioU or the talkback button in the RadioU app. There's a lot of soccer terminology that's backwards.
What do you mean?
Like his red card is suspended. I saw that and I was like, I thought he was already suspended. What are you talking about?
They're just suspending the punishment for the red card.
Yeah, so why don't they just say it's like lifted or something?
Yeah, I think I've seen some people say lifted, but it's like they can't reverse it. They can't take it away, but they can delay.
Why can't they?
I don't know. That
apparently they can do anything they want.
In my opinion, this should be a time where they reflect upon that rule, especially if VAR is the reason why it happened, because the ref on the field did not give Balogun a red card just looking at it. It was VAR that came in. And so in my opinion, that rule needs to be it needs to be looked at again. Maybe VAR, if they come in and decide to give a player a red card, maybe that should have the ability to be reversed upon further review.
So they can review the review.
Yeah. Because
at what point do we just like stop? Maybe just like let's go with what's on the field.
That's what I would ultimately want is just if the ref on the field did not think that the contact was intentional and did not think that it should have been worthy of even a yellow, because he didn't even give him a yellow card, then I wouldn't want anything past that. So I'm fine with the idea of abolishing VAR.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not the only person that's ever said this, but watching the World Cup, it just makes no sense of where we have this technology to see, did the ball cross the line? Was the guy offsides? And we're going to go back and video review if he stepped on his foot intentionally trying to break his Achilles or not. But then we're like, and we're also going to use a stopwatch like it's the 1920s.
Right.
Like, make up your mind if we're in the future or not of sports. But what is suspicious about this is that the red card was lifted after we were first told, first of all, that he was getting a red card. Yeah. That then he was not going to be able to play in the next game.
And that there would be no review.
They wouldn't even wouldn't even accept an appeal. And then all of a sudden they're like, actually,
never mind.
We're going to lift it. And there's reports that, I don't know if it was Donald Trump himself, but folks from the White House were in contact with FIFA lobbying to get this red card lifted.
All America wanted Balogun. Free Balogun.
Yeah, except if any other country did this, it'd be very problematic.
But other countries have. This has happened before with Cristiano Ronaldo, and there's belief that politicians got involved in that situation.
And that's wrong.
Well,
we're supposed to be better than them.
I believe this is a problem overall with FIFA, where there is issues of corruption, if you will. But I don't think if Trump stepped in here and was like, please review, I personally don't think he's wrong, because I would have asked for review. The red card shouldn't have been there. And so however it needed to happen, this needed to happen. This was not right. This red card should not have been here. I do not care how we've gotten here. But the fact that Balogun is playing tonight, I am happy.
It's wrong is wrong, though. And so But
wrong was giving the red card. He shouldn't have gotten the red card.
But Allie, two wrongs don't make a right.
But in my opinion, I feel like because he is allowed to play, now this game can move forward as it always should have been, which is
for us, but not for Belgium.
Well, yeah, Belgium doesn't want to have to defend Balogun. Of course, also, they're upset.
Norway's coach is now, or their manager is also complaining because it doesn't really set a great precedent, does it?
Well, I mean, again, it's not like this is the first time FIFA's ever done this. They did this for Cristiano Ronaldo. They also,
but just because you're wrong in the past doesn't mean you should be wrong in the future. I'm just saying this is something
FIFA continually does, and you just need to accept it. They're going to make decisions that are going to baffle you.
Okay, so I'm just supposed to accept that we are doing the wrong thing.
No, I don't think we're doing the wrong thing.
That our country did the wrong thing. I don't think
we're doing the wrong thing at all, because I think we are right to say that Balogun never deserved that red card. And so to ask for it to be reviewed makes total sense to me. However we needed to get it done, we are right to ask for it to be reviewed, because he shouldn't have had the red card.
When China does this, when they host the World Cup.
China's not going to be in the World Cup.
When they host it. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding bent reality this weekend. 8772 RadioU, or the talkback button of the RadioU app. Let me tell you how and why. Adam Sandler was there.
Oh, gosh.
Not only was he in attendance, he officiated the wedding.
No way.
And sang a, quote, humorous yet touching song about their relationship.
I didn't even know he was like friends with them.
Apparently. Well, Travis Kelce was in Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, okay.
He had a bit more than a cameo, because there's the scene at the country, like he's a waiter, I think, at the country club.
Nice.
So they would know each other from that. And apparently Taylor Swift, I don't know how they got in contact, but yeah, I mean, they're celebrities.
Yeah.
So at some point, she and like Adam Sandler, all his daughters or whatever, like they're big fans. They've been in contact. And so there's some connection there.
Yeah.
But the idea that it's a close enough connection that
he would officiate.
Not only invite him, but have him play an integral, one of the most important roles of all is pretty amazing. I feel like it does say a lot about them that they would have him like sing and like do funny stuff at their wedding, you know?
Yeah.
It seems to say a lot. But all of that, while there's a reasonable explanation, it's bending reality, because it definitely sounds like something that would be in a movie that somebody was making, not actually in real life. Exactly.
It doesn't sound real. It sounds like they were making one of like a sitcom, one of his classic sitcoms about their wedding, rather than it being truly their wedding.
It feels like the Avengers Endgame of like, of weddings. Like,
a celebrity.
How can we just portal a bunch of people in where, I mean, again, they're celebrities, so they would just know celebrities.
Yeah.
But it also just feels, it just doesn't feel real that they're going to have celebrities having these roles in their wedding.
Right.
It just feels kind of fake. But I do wish, and I'm sure one day we will get this, I wish we could see what this was like.
Yeah, I kind of wish we could get like a video of him singing, or even a video of him officiating the wedding, because I'm sure he put in his classic quips and maybe funny little voices like he always does, because he's Adam Sandler.
I have some supposed like quotes from him officiating.
Okay.
Talking about Travis Kelce, he said, he's like the guys I grew up with. When I was with Travis, it reminded me of my buddies in high school and just being able to laugh and say the things you want to say.
Okay.
So that was in there. Not exactly a joke.
Yeah, that seems a little more heartfelt.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't have actual footage because anybody who was invited signed a pretty darn strict NDA.
Okay.
And I know that there's definitely been some people that have already been kind of reprimanded for, I think there were more staff than like invitees.
Yeah.
But that were, that have been
sharing stuff.
Yeah, that they shouldn't have been. So,
okay.
But what I feel like may happen is, of all the people there, it was Madison Square Garden, there had to be a ton of people invited. People had to be taking videos. Yes. And while they may not share them directly, they're probably uploaded to some Google Drive or Apple iCloud or something.
That people will hack into.
And somehow they'll see the light of day one time or another.
Yeah, somebody's going to get their hands on it. Maybe even somebody who's a little sleazy will sell it to like TMZ or something.
Yeah.
And then they won't have to release it themselves.
Get a roundabout way.
Yeah, then they won't have to release it themselves. It's not on them.
Yeah, but... either way, I guess congratulations to them.
Yeah, congrats. I did see, this was obviously ESPN, and so their focus is sports, but, Travis Kelce, so that's kind of one of the reasons they were talking about it. They said that the Cape Verde and Argentina game kind of overshadowed a lot of the social media talk about the wedding, because that game was so insane.
That was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tells you how great that game was.
Yes, to overshadow such a big event
like All-American wedding was overshadowed by
one of the greatest games we've ever seen.
500,000 people. Would you participate if our country did this here in the United States, started rewarding you for simply walking 30 minutes per day? Because this is a new plan in England, where the National Health Service in England is developing a rewards program. They just want people to walk 30 minutes a day. And if you can do that every day for a month, that they say that if you do 30 minutes a day, that means you're walking the equivalent of a marathon in a month.
Okay.
And so if they can get people doing that, once you hit the month streak is when you would start getting rewards, which they haven't disclosed what those are yet.
Okay. I mean, I would 100% participate in this. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, it depends what the rewards are. There are apps right now that you can get on your phone that are like I saw that years ago, saw these and it was like, oh, that's cool. And so I tried it out and they're all super scammy.
Yeah.
They like don't track your steps accurately. And then they pay you like basically a penny for a mile or something.
Oh my
like that.
gosh.
Like it's just absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then obviously you have to like save it up till you have like $10 to even get a gift card or whatever it is. So, and then it's also loaded with ads. So yeah. We have things similar that you could access, but definitely not from the government.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I felt about like, you know, those apps sometimes that you can scan your like your receipt or whatever and get rewards. I used one of those. It was called Fetch for like the longest time.
Yeah.
And I had saved up a decent amount of points, but you have to get a lot of points to be able to start cashing in, you know, cashing out or whatever, getting stuff. And after a certain point of time, the points like they become invalid.
They expire.
Yeah, they expire. And so I didn't use it enough to make it worth it to keep, you know, uploading these receipts or whatever, because I was never going to get anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what a lot of these feel like is pretty scammy.
If an app ever tells you it's going to pay you, don't believe it. Don't believe it. It's not going to be worth your time.
Yeah.
But for this, like for a lot of people, you're already walking 30 minutes a day. And I definitely feel, here's the thing. They don't say what the rewards are. I just can't imagine that for the entire country of England, they're going to be able to offer a good enough reward that's going to get people that don't already walk 30 minutes a day to start walking. But then people like you and I that are pretty active already are just we're going to keep doing what we're already doing. And then they're going to give us like $5 a month or something.
Yeah.
Which I would take. I definitely take.
I would take it. I mean, if it's $5 I'm not getting somewhere else.
Yeah.
So I'm already doing the exercise. Why might as well get the $5.
And then somebody, I'm sure, is thinking, yeah, but do you want the government tracking you? Tracking all of your steps and everywhere you go?
They already do that.
Exactly.
I have a cell phone with
100%.
me when I'm running all the time. So
there, you think they can't do that already without you saying so?
I literally have a Garmin watch on my wrist that tracks where I'm running and walking, and I post it on a place called Strava. I am letting the whole world know where I am.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't give exact address, but like, you know, it's pretty clear.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what rewards they eventually land on and what other requirements are for this. But I do, you know, if it did come to the United States, I'd be kind of interested.
Yeah.
Just to see what I could get, because I'm walking 30 minutes anyways.
Right.
Might as well get paid for it. I have a great video here. I can send it, but warning. Language warning. It's 772 Radio U or the talkback button in the Radio U app, but it makes sense when you understand it's the Jersey Shore.
Oh, no.
But this video is hilarious because it is, I would say, possibly a half dozen total lifeguards versus one man in the ocean. They're not necessarily rescuing the man as much as they are fighting with the man.
Oh, no.
Or the man is fighting with them. This is at the Jersey Shore, presumably this past weekend, where the man in the water is drunk.
Okay.
He's got to be drunk.
Yeah.
And so what I want to know is, I wish we could go back in time, because this part is not on video, to find out what was going on to prompt the lifeguards all to go into the water. But like, they go in, I'm sure they were blowing their whistles and whatever.
Yeah.
And what we have in the video is this guy is like fighting off. He's throwing punches or whatever at the lifeguards. And the lifeguards are winning because they have him outnumbered and they're also not drunk.
Right.
And they're in shape and everything. So, but it's like one guy versus 6 lifeguards in the water.
And then eventually like 5 police officers, 6 police officers come over because this guy is he's like trying to like punch the lifeguards. He's trying to take the lifeguards down, and the lifeguards are just trying to get him out of the water.
Right.
So, it's not like you can put him down in the water. The guy's going to drown. So my assumption is because there's another guy in there.
Yeah.
That's not a lifeguard, not a police officer, maybe a friend.
Yeah, that's got to be a friend of his.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, we got to get this guy out. He's going to drown out here. And I can't get him. Maybe because he's one of those people that when they're drunk, they're just like agitated. And like anybody trying to help them, they're just going to get aggravated with and like angry and they're going to lash out.
He's belligerent.
Yeah, like that's
clearly.
That's like his type of attitude. And there are people that are like that when they get drunk. They just immediately start attacking someone. And so, I feel like the friend called for help to get this guy out of the water. The lifeguards come running with their little, flotation devices, and then he starts beating the lifeguards up.
Yeah, what a fight. I mean, they were there likely to rescue him to make sure he didn't get pulled away in a current.
Yeah, make sure he didn't drown.
Sober up out at sea somewhere before when it was too late.
Yeah.
So, it's just a crazy, the idea that you would start fighting a lifeguard.
Right. The lifeguards are probably just like, what the heck, man? We're trying to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you rather be a Jersey Shore lifeguard or an Uber driver in Mexico City last night? I don't think you can win.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Both sound bad.
That's all I was thinking about of like, some of these World Cup games, but particularly Mexico versus England, and it was in Mexico City. Like, and at altitude, which changes how like your body gets the alcohol is like everybody that was working last night in Mexico City they signed up for it.
Yes.
Like, they deserve a raise.
I hope all the England fans got to their hotel okay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You need the Uber drivers and everybody just all hands on deck to make sure everything went smoothly.
Yes.
It's time for our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters this past weekend. I'm kind of surprised. 8772 RadioU or the talkback button in the RadioU app at how little money the number one movie in America made this weekend.
Oh my gosh, me too.
Yeah. By the way, let us know what you've seen lately. Did you go to the movies this weekend? Did you stay home and watch anything? 8772 RadioU or the talkback button in the RadioU app. But I mean, Minions and Monsters is the number one movie in theaters this weekend. No surprise. But what is a surprise is through the entire July 4th weekend, it only made $61 million.
That's crazy.
That doesn't feel like a lot, does it?
No, especially after Toy Story 5 just came out and made so much money its opening weekend. I thought kind of that Minions and Monsters would do similar numbers. Maybe not quite as high, but like there's a belief out there. I certainly held that belief that Minions itself was like one of the biggest brands right now for kids and kid films and stuff like that. So I was assuming it would do similar numbers.
I mean, worldwide, it got to $160 million already. So, that's really good. And it's going to Minions and Monsters and Toy Story both for the rest of this July are just going to keep on making money.
Yeah.
Toy Story was still at number 2. It made another $31 million just this weekend.
Yeah, and it's almost to $800 million worldwide.
Yeah. And it's been out for 3 weeks now. So Toy Story not slowing down all that much.
It's going to be $1 billion movie.
Yeah, and even with Minions, some kid movie competition coming in, it still made a ton of money this weekend. So they'll both continue on making money all month long. But I would have expected more than $61 million in North America.
Yeah, I would have definitely expected more because, it was such a hot weekend. It feels like a really good idea to go like cool off in the movie theater as like a fun way to enjoy the 4th of July weekend. But maybe that's not what people were doing at all. Maybe they were going to the pool instead and not thinking about spending a whole bunch of money on the movies.
Yeah, going out and seeing fireworks and everything. It made less than half of what Toy Story 5 did in its opening weekend.
Yeah.
But $61 million and then over 160 million worldwide is still pretty good. And the other thing with kids' movies, even though July 4th, typically a very good movie for movies, a very good week for movies, when you're talking kids' movies, there's a less urgency, right, to go see it in that first week.
It's true.
Because, like, who cares if Minions and Monsters get spoiled for you or whatever? Like, if you got a whole family of kids, you probably want to go on a cheaper night anyway.
I was going to say, the movie theater is going to get hit hard tomorrow night for the Tuesday deals for Minions and Monsters. Also, that total, I don't know, I'm sure you saw this, but that total is over like 5 days.
Yeah.
And so that's another thing to take into account there. Toy Story 5 made however much money, double that for its opening weekend in 3 days. If you just bear it down to the 3-day total for Minions and Monsters, this is an even worse total for them. $36 million for an opening weekend.
Yeah.
That's really not great. So Minions may be losing some ground here. And a part of that might be, word of mouth, as we've talked about, not as great for it, even though the critics seem to like it. A lot of people that have seen it have said it's not as good.
A lot of people that saw the trailer and didn't pay attention to the critics, didn't hear the weekend watch list, are like, this trailer looks stupid. But granted, how is that different from every other Minions movie? And they all make $1 bajillion. It's true. Coming in at number 3 was Young Washington. That was the other new release this weekend. That made $20 million. And it didn't make any money overseas. So I don't know if it hasn't released
probably
yet.
Just released in the U.S.
Doesn't seem like a movie that might have a lot of... In the U.K., it feels like it wouldn't do possibly very well. In France. So that's your box office breakdown. Let us know what you've seen lately at 8772 Radio U or the TalkBack button in the Radio U app. Allie, do you have anything to share?
I do. I do, but it's obvious. Like, people should know if they listened last week, they should know.
Oh, so you have nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new that I've seen.
All right, well, I'll come up with something then.
Okay.
That I've seen. 8772 Radio U or the TalkBack button in the Radio U app. Share your reviews for movies and TV shows you've seen lately. We just did the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters this weekend. Minions and Monsters was number 1, but over the course of all of last week, it only made $61 million in North America, which is a decent amount of money, but not amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare it to Toy Story 5, which had made $161 million in its first weekend. Toy Story 5 was number 2. Young Washington came in at number 3. What have you seen lately? We want to hear your reviews at 8772 Radio U. Allie, what have you watched?
Before I give my quick review, I just wanted to give one last shout out. I'm sure this is the last time we'll talk about this, but Obsession hit the $400 million worldwide mark for box office, and that's just incredible to see a movie like that make that amount of money. We've talked about it so many times, their budget of $750,000, and it made $400 million. And crazy.
It finally fell out of the top 5 I think, for the first time, and ever.
Barely fell out of the top. It was just behind Disclosure Day. But either way, just wanted to give that a shout out. I did, you probably guessed it, watched The Sandlot over the weekend. I mentioned how much I love that movie, and I usually try and watch it over the 4th of July weekend. But for the most part, most of my weekend was filled with spending time with family and also watching the World Cup, which was pure cinema. If you have missed these World Cup games, I feel bad for you because they have been amazing, particularly Argentina versus Cabo Verde on, what was that, Friday night?
Yeah,
this
Friday.
happened. That was one of the most insane games I've ever seen, and just incredible. So the pure cinema that I enjoyed over the weekend was from the World Cup.
Yeah, that game was a lot of fun. And the World Cup, to reiterate, I will not. It's not making me want to watch soccer after this.
Yeah.
But I am enjoying it while it's still going on.
Right.
Well, once the World Cup is over, I'm done with soccer for at least until the Euros.
Or until the next World Cup.
Yeah. But I've had a bunch of shows I've been working on.
Okay.
We haven't quite finished the second season of One Piece yet. Also, the Cape Fear is on Apple TV Plus. I want to start that. I haven't gotten to it yet.
Cape Fear, yes.
Yeah. So there's been a couple other shows that I'm working on, but I did start The Bear, the final season of The Bear, on Hulu or Disney Plus, and I haven't finished it yet, and I am enjoying it. But the way it starts it does one of those TV things, and sometimes movies do this too, but particularly TV is guilty of it. It's just like, what are the odds of all of these things happening at the same time?
Yeah.
I really respect when a show is just like, here's the one thing that happened, and then this is everybody dealing with it.
Yeah.
Where in The Bear, in this case, still a good show. The characters are great. It's still well written. But like the fact that they're like, it's the biggest storm of the century, and they have to sell the building, and this guy's running out of money, and this thing is going wrong. And it's just like, what are the odds they would all culminate all at once?
Right. Very unlikely.
Where it just feels like they have to throw a bunch of stuff. And I don't know if it's like, because it's the final season, if they're like, we wanted to do all this stuff and now we have to cram it all into this amount of time.
Yeah.
Or what it is. But
well, because that's what you talked about, right? Where you said you weren't sure how they were going to wrap up the storylines of all these different characters.
Yeah, because anytime with a TV show, when you've been following the characters for, through all these different events, how do you stop it?
Yeah.
How do you say, okay, we don't need to follow them anymore?
Right.
Unless they all die.
Right.
It's like, why wouldn't you just keep seeing, oh, this guy's going to go to a different restaurant? We could still keep watching him at that different restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's retiring? What's he going to do next?
Right.
I don't know. So it's hard to wrap up a TV show.
It's very hard. As we've seen many times.
What it just keeps reminding me is how much I liked Succession. Because it was a classic show where they'd be like, one thing happens, and then we spend episodes on
dealing with it.
The fallout kind of that, where you're entertained the whole time.
Yes.
And then they actually did have a really good endpoint for it. That wasn't what you expected when you started watching the show. So.
Yeah. Very rare in TV shows to see the success.
We need your advice on this fired or hired situation at 877-2-RADIO-U, or you could use the talkback button in the RadioU app. We have a guy who says, can my employer change the time I have to come to work without paying more?
Okay.
So here's the situation. I've been working at this, been working for 3 years at this job. It's an HVAC company. And recently they decided to tell us we have to arrive at work at 7:15 a.m. as opposed to 7:30, which it's been as long as he's worked there.
Okay.
For the past 2.5 years, I guess he'll just reiterate what I just said. For the past 2.5 years, our workday was 7:30 to 4 with a 30-minute unpaid lunch. Those extra 15 minutes are not paid. And when some of us even asked about being paid for the 15 minutes every day going forward, we were just yelled at and shrugged off.
Yelled at? What?
My question is there wrongdoing on their part or not really? 877-2 RADIO-U or the talkback button in the RadioU app. I feel like in a way, I feel like this is above my pay grade for advice, but I actually am a solutions-oriented guy. I think I have an idea for how you can work around this.
Okay.
I mean, but the yelling at is kind of concerning.
That's definitely concerning. It's making me want to do the classic, which is just like, get out of there,
Yeah.
But surely we can give him advice where that's not the end result of just automatically leaving. Because maybe this is a really high-paying job,
Yeah.
Maybe it's good other than him getting yelled at.
Right. I bet you the work is good.
I mean, HVAC, that sounds like, that could be decently paying.
Right. So let us know. This guy working at the same HVAC company for 3 years. Basically, the whole time he's worked there, he's supposed to get there at 7:30. Now they're saying everybody needs to get there at 7:15, but they're not paying them for those extra 15 minutes. 877-2-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the RadioU app. Share your advice for this fired or hired situation. We'll see what people are saying coming up. We're doing fired or hired. We have a guy who works for an HVAC company. He says he's worked there 3 years. The entire time he's worked there, they've had the workday start at 7:30, go till 4 with 30 minutes of unpaid lunch. But they just told everybody they now need to start arriving at 7:15 a.m. instead, but they're not paying them for the extra 15 minutes. And when some of the employees asked about it, they got yelled at and shrugged off.
Wow.
Is this the company doing something wrong, or were they right to shrug this guy off? 877-2-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the RadioU app.
Okay, we heard from Charles. He said, yes, legally any break under 20 minutes must be paid. So if they're only getting actually 15 minutes of a break, it's meant to all be paid.
So that's a good thought that I hadn't considered.
Right.
Is that if they're, which he doesn't mention either in our email, but if they're supposed to get there at 7:15 and start the workday at 7:15 so that they can have a 15-minute break, they should still be paid for that 15-minute break.
Right.
But he doesn't even mention that. It sounds like they just want them to get there earlier.
Right.
So we also heard from D, who says kind of the opposite. As an educator, unpaid mandate is a fact of life. If you are salary and above the threshold, they can make you do that. But I feel that this wouldn't be really an issue if he was salary, right?
Yeah, it sounds like he's not salary.
That's what I'm thinking.
And also, I'm confused by the whole unpaid lunch thing. Because it's like 30 minutes unpaid lunch.
Yeah.
Which means actually he's working like overtime hours. You know what I mean? Because like he says he's working from 7:30 to 4 every day.
Yeah.
With 30 minutes off, but that 30 minutes isn't paid.
Right.
So
So he's working 8 to 4 instead of 9 to 5, but that would be like 9 to 5 would be 40 hours a week, but that's including if your lunch is paid.
Yeah.
So this is 40. He's working 40 hours, but this extra 15 minutes would put him overtime.
Yeah.
Which is definitely why the company would be hesitant to want to pay it, because that's 15 minutes of overtime for every employee.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah. Somebody did make a good point, though. I saw this from Mark, and he said, always be on time, show up, clock in, but don't start work until you get paid. Someone was likely getting there late or unprepared and causing time delays, and that's why they made this a new rule. So this sounds like the classic, because Timmy over here can't get his things together, all of the crew is getting the raw end of the deal.
That's what I had the exact same thought, that this is not that you need to do 15 more minutes of work, but that somebody
isn't showing up on time.
Multiple somebodies. Yeah, we're like 7:30 and they were showing up at 7:35 even perhaps.
Yep.
Where 7:30 workday means you should be there at 7:25 ready to work.
Right.
Not that you need to, so they're saying 7:15 to try to get those people that are coming late to actually show up on time.
Yeah.
So I think for you, I would just say keep getting there, be ready at 7:30. And if you already have been doing that, then I think you actually are just good.
Yeah.
They're just trying to get it out of other people. And then if they want to come and complain to you specifically again, then you come back to the conversation of they need to be paying you for that extra time you need to be there.
Yeah.
But I think it is concerning, definitely, that they yelled at you. But unless you're the one that's also getting there late all the time, so
yeah,
I think we sorted this out.
I think so. I think it's one of those things where you're just gonna have to suck it up. If it's a good enough job to suck it up, like if you're getting yelled at all the time, maybe not. But I think just arriving 15 minutes before your shift starts is not the worst thing.
You know what I heard recently, though? I thought this is so brilliant.
What?
I can't remember who said this, but they said people don't leave jobs, they leave bosses.
Yes.
And so you might have a really good job here, but if your boss sucks and the boss is still going to be there,
right.
And that could be the advice for every fired or hired.
Yes.
Is that if you're your job could be good or not, but it's the boss that kind of makes or breaks it.
Yeah, somehow I hear this all the time from different people, just it's wild how some people end up in management and in leadership when they have very poor leadership skills. Mm-hmm. It's like, how are they the boss?
You stick around long enough, they got to make somebody the boss.
Yeah, they just keep getting promoted somehow.
If you have a fired or hired, email mornings@radiou.com or Allie, do you believe this is real? This is a post on basically like a UK version of Reddit, kind of. I know they have Reddit, they have Reddit in the UK as well, but this is like their own site that we don't really use.
Yeah.
Where it's a woman saying that she's been dating a guy for 7 months and everything seems great on paper, except...
Classic Love Island phrase right there.
Except he won't stop eating chips.
Oh, what?
She's got the ick from his chip eating habit. Of course, she calls them crisps because it's the UK.
Yeah.
But here's the story. She says, he's kind, has a good job that pays well, not bad looking, treats me well, and never allows me to pay for anything.
Sounds like a dream.
I know. And you're going to throw this all away because he eats chips. But she says that he eats like 3 packs a day, 3 bags of chips per day. I guess she means like the individual size, not like a giant bag.
Yeah.
But her example was they recently went on their first trip that was over 3 days long. They went on a 2-week trip to Spain, and he was eating 3 packs of chips per day. And she goes, they're not even the sophisticated type of chips.
What?
Literally,
is there any type of
the sophisticated type? I'm glad you asked. They're not even the sophisticated type, i.e., kettle chips.
Okay. Those are just for people that are sad.
Instead, she says that he's eating, and I wish we had these in the United States, Space Raiders.
Never heard of it.
Monster Munch and Knick Knacks.
Oh, Knick Knacks. We had those in Zambia. Those are like our own version of Cheetos.
Have you ever seen Space Raiders? They have like a giant Martian head on the bag, and apparently the chips are shaped like Martians.
I love that. I have never seen Space Raiders or Monster Munch, but Knick Knacks. Oh yeah, I could have some Knick Knacks.
He's eating 3 bags of these per day. Then she said after he finishes the bag, he doesn't wash his hands, at least without being prompted. So he has the disgusting chip dust all over his fingers and fingernails. He doesn't lick them clean.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Then, after he finishes the bag, he arches his back, empties the remnants of the crisp crumbs into his mouth.
This is just classic guy behavior.
Yeah. And then she says the worst and most disgusting, after finishing a packet, he'll blow up the packet like a balloon and pop it. This guy sounds like so much fun.
He's a kid at heart. He's a kid at heart.
And I mean, everything else about him is great. He's a 10, but he eats 3 bags of chips and blows the bag up like a balloon when he's done with it.
And pops it.
Yeah. Do you believe this is even a true like quandary that this woman is having?
I mean, I do think this is a real ick that she has found in this relationship, but I don't think she needs to let it ruin it. If this was a love him or leave him,
yeah,
and we were giving advice to this woman in the UK, I would say love him. Like, he is going to have this quirk, and that's okay, because any other person you are going to date, any other guy you are going to date is going to have a quirk that you might find a little like off. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to happen because everybody has this about them. I bet you if you asked him, there's something that you do that he finds a little odd. So don't let this be right. Don't let this be what ruins what sounds like a good thing.
If eating chips is the worst part of your relationship, you got a pretty good relationship.
Yes.
It's got to be.
Yes.
Or is this like she doesn't like him anyways, even though everything
this is just the excuse?
Yeah, exactly. She's got to justify it somehow.
I mean, if this is what's the reason why you're willing to cut a guy off and dump him, then it doesn't say much about you.
Just if... It's going to reflect worse on you, though, if you're telling your friends it's because he wouldn't stop eating chips versus we just didn't vibe, you know, like you just come up with something vague because that's the truth.
Didn't feel right.
That's the truth. Right. Instead of scapegoating the chips, leave the chips out of this.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.